It's a long, skinny hallway, Doc. What up in the back? How y'all feeling? Hey, thank you guys so much for coming out, man. It's our honor that you would come out here and hang out with us tonight and bring some students. So whether you brought a van full, a truck full, or a bus full, or a Pinto full, we are happy that you are here. And, you know, when I think about you guys, you know, I just want to say it's an honor that you guys would, the way I look at it is we're partnering on tonight. You know, and if I were my partner, I would want to know, thinking about your shoes, I would want to know, is this for real to these guys? Is this just some big entertainment thing, or is this for real? And I can tell you, I would not have left home this weekend if I wasn't about to give some people Jesus out there. That's just where it's coming from for me. My hope, my prayer for tonight is that they are entertaining, that they are worn out, that people get an amazing show. But the heart of this show, and my hope and my prayer, is that your students' eyes, and even your eyes and my eyes, would turn toward Jesus. That's the hope of tonight. I can say that I'm proud and happy to partner with you because when I was 13 years old, my mom would drag us to church every Sunday, and I didn't quite get it. I didn't go to youth group. We just went to big church, and you know, I would sit there and I felt like that guy behind the box was yelling at me. And but at 13, this guy came up and tapped me on the shoulder after church, and he asked me if I wanted to go to this camp. He kind of described it as a basketball camp, I got to be honest with you. I looked at my mom, and she was like, yeah, get him out of the house for the summer, dog. So I signed up, and 4 of my friends signed up with me. And about 2 months later, we found ourselves in this van, driving down the road with this, who we found out was the new volunteer youth pastor to go to this camp. I remember we get there, we grabbed our bags, got out of the van, started walking. We thought we were going to our cabin or whatever, but we stopped at this outdoor pavilion. This dude gets up and starts preaching for like 2 hours. My boys were looking at me like, yo, this is the strangest basketball camp I've ever been to in my life. We got bamboozled, you know what I mean? We did finally get to play basketball, we got to swim, we got to do all kinds of things, but each night, what I took away with me was this. Each night that youth pastor would sit on the floor of our cabin with just me and my friends and him, and he would open up God's Word. And he would tell about his life, tell us about the mistakes he had made and how he'd found his faith in Jesus. And for the first time in my life, man, the Bible just started getting at me. I'd heard it many times, I'd read it before, but it never really hit me like it did on that floor with that dude. And I gotta say, it was Friday night, and we had just gotten up off the floor after reading the Bible, and I just remember my heart was pounding, and I got my sleeping bag, and I zipped it to the very top, and I just laid there for like 20 minutes. And finally I got the courage up, and I unzipped my bag, and I walked in the other room, and I woke up that youth pastor, and I said, hey man, can you tell me a little bit more about Jesus? And he read some verses to me, and he asked me if I'd like to make Jesus the Lord of my life, and I said yes. And right there at that bedside, he led me to the Lord. So you guys, I so appreciate what you do. You have no idea how much I respect you and appreciate what you're pouring into these students, because I was one of them. And I know you're in the trenches, and I know it's got to be hard sometimes, but I want to encourage you. And you know, sometimes I'm jealous of your job in the trenches with these students. You know, you go through the hard times with them, but man, it must be such a pleasure, such a thrill to see that some of these students come out on the other side, men and women of God. That's amazing. And so thank you for what you do, for real. And my prayer tonight is that in partnering with you, some of your students will be absolutely fall in love with Jesus tonight. God bless you guys. I appreciate it.
One more time, make some noise for Toby Mack.